some slides. But I'm ready. I don't know whether Elizabeth is going to be the first or I'm going to go first. Please.
Fred, please present. Elizabeth was having some challenges and she'll present later.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Here. Please. I don't know whether you can see my slides there, please, Chamari.
Sure, we are.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much once again. I would like to welcome everybody, my colleagues, teachers. I'm very happy today to have this opportunity to share with you. Okay, to be among the speakers, of course. I was told to discuss or to present on speaking skills. And I know for teachers, you know, this is part of our skills. I mean, for teachers of English, you know, that this is a part of our skills that we always give to our students, that always teach. So I extracted these materials, as you know, from British Council, a source, that's our reference, and I believe that also had much time to go there and read. Just what I'm going to share with you is my just few things that I got from there, and I know I'll be giving you a link. And you already know, you already have those links where you can go and get more. So my name is Kabanda Frederick. I'm a teacher of English from Lycée de Lac, Muhazi, especially. It is a school which is located in the Wamagana district. So this session will take 40 minutes. I'm sorry for this hour. Actually, I would like to hear it is not from 8 a.m., but it's from 10 a.m. Teachers, Jamari, can you hear me, please?
Sure, so, yes.
So the instruction objectives of this presentation, of course, it will be for both teachers and students. We teachers of English, of course, we need to gain from these materials, and also we need to know how we are going to handle them, how we are going to adapt to them. Actually, that was my area of concentration, to know how we can adapt these British Council resources about teaching English and how we can adapt them in our curriculum. Of course, you find that they have certain connection. So the objective of students will be able to recognize and pronunciation mistakes in English. Improve fluency in speaking by practicing real-life conversation scenarios. Number 3, guide students. I mean, we teachers guide students in developing their listening skills to understand effective English accent. Then, objective number 4, have a good confidence in using a variety of vocabulary and so I tried also to look at the historical background. As you know, of course, there was a development from theory and now to practice, you know. So historical background, evolution of speaking skills teaching. When you go there, also see from 1930 to 1950, grammar translation method. So that's how the evolution of this skill was. 1960s, the audiolingual method, 1970s, communicative language teaching, 1980s, task-based learning, 1990, present, integrated skills approach, and then 2000, technology integration. I mean, now we are trying to integrate technology in as we are doing now, you know. We are using webinar, we are trying to get different materials just using technology. So we are in technology era, if I could say. Importance in Rwandan context. So before we dive into this skill, but we need also to consider the importance in the Rwandan context. You know, economic development. Needs the tourism industry growth, region integration, ESC, educational advancement, business opportunities, CBC curriculum implementation. Yeah, this skill also play a big role in these areas. Now, colleagues, if we are together, let us have just take a moment and think about these three statements. Jamal, please, are you getting me all together?
Sure. Yes, Fred.
Okay, thank you. Think about this. Teachers, let us have maybe a moment and think about the last time you tried to speak English in front of someone, maybe in front of the students or any other person that you had a conversation. Was it smooth, or did it feel like you were auditioning for a role in a comedy show? Think about it. Maybe you were looking around, you were just like confusing and being confused. Number two, imagine you're in English speaking country and you accidentally order 10 pizzas instead of one because of small mistake. How would you explain that to the waiter and to your stomach? Exactly. You want to order one pizza and then you have ordered 10 pizza just because of communication, because of the mistake you cannot express. Number three, as we dive into speaking skills, picture this. You are about to give a speech in English, but suddenly your brain goes on vacation. I just used it when it goes on vacation, it disappears. You don't know. Why do you think could save you from turning into a human version of mute button? Imagine what can save you, please. So let us go together. Now, the importance of speaking skills, of course, will help to resolve all these things that we have. That will be only your savior if you can express council source, teaching speaking skills, and off. Yes. Here, and then I have just gotten for you a link. When you go there, you can get the introduction on speaking skills. So now I tried to see that there are too many parts of speaking with some example activities here. Okay, now number one, in speaking skill, we need the pronunciation, focus. Yes. How do you pronounce? How do you try to articulate some words when you are speaking in order people to understand you? Here I have some minimal pairs practice today. Maybe how you can some problems that we always get with students like here in Rwanda. One says one thing, meaning another thing. You know. So you need to know how to pronounce. And this goes back, of course, it has something to do with the phonetics and phonology, because we always teach. Yeah, like here we have sheep. This is sheep in phonology, and then number two have sheep. Sheep, sheep. So for the first, for sheep, we have E, which is short. And then sheep, you have E, which is long with the dots. I mean, teachers, phonology, have been teaching. So we have heat and heat. So these also are some of the challenges that we always get. Yeah, we have also to practice stress patterns in words like uh, photograph and photographer, photograph and photographer, photographic. So you see some different stress: photograph, photographer, and photographic. So these are some of the techniques. This part of speaking. Of course, we need to encourage our students and even teachers, and this is a really crucial thing that we need to do when we are teaching speaking skills. So I have a personal example that I want to share with you. One day I was speaking to an American native speaker from USA, and then I was talking about the word nurse. So I was meaning someone who treats people, nurses. So I said nurse, and the person asked me 3 times. He didn't really understand what I was saying. So it's a part of speaking skill, pronunciation. So you can mean something when you can. Pardon, Jean-Marie, are you telling me anything?
No, please keep
Okay, thank you very much. So,
presenting.
yes, this is a personal experience that I heard. So when you are speaking, as a part of speaking skill, pronunciation is crucial. Yeah, we still have some minimal pairs here with the one and context. We have sometimes someone said shit with the seat, and you don't have you see, we don't have a difference. For us, there's an experience. So here we have work and walk. I walk to work. So it's all about pronunciation that will save you from maybe site. And then when you continue reading, we have, like here we have the technique of 3-4-2. 3-4-2. This is when you allow your student or your speaker, I don't know, tell just a simple story in English. First time, you will give them longer time. You need them to speak because they have some problems in articulating or in just getting more vocabularies or of just expressing. Then first time, you allow them 4 minutes, and then the second time, 3 minutes, third time, 2 minutes. That means maybe someone can tell that story in 1 minute. It depends on the fluency and the understanding of the speaker. So this is a technique of allowing the students talk, or the speakers maybe we were sharing with. So there is this technique of 3, I mean 4-3-2. So 3 here means first time 4 minutes, second time 3 minutes, and third time 2 minutes. So but it's just technique of listening to someone and bearing that patience when you are listening to the speaker. Yes, there's a fluency, and then we have some key challenges and uh, us these challenges and also give us some solutions. So for confidence building, first of all, teachers, we are the witnesses from our own experiences. Our students here in Rwanda, when you make them stand before their fellows, it's very, very difficult for them. They first lack the confidence. They don't want to stand there just to speak. So now here, there are some techniques that we need to first build the confidence in our speakers. Just a minute again, talk for 6 seconds about a familiar topic. Allow them to talk. And here, I would also like to talk about the protection of our speakers, like our students when they are talking. We need to protect them. They have that tendency of fearing to talk before others because others are laughing to them. So this must be catered for before maybe this activity of speaking, and then you build the confidence. Like in my class, I always tell students that they know much. Only they need to talk, or to practice. So tell them that they know much, and again, don't allow others to laugh at them. Maybe if a student is trying to talk, or protect the speaker. So topics: my family, my favorite food, my journey to school. These are maybe some topics that you can allow them to, in their lives, which they know their family. The target grammar example, practice students continue. Practice present continuous. Yeah, you can target either. Now it takes us into the grammar, of course, to help them talk accurately, use the right tenses. Here we have student 1 and B. Like an example, let us talk about like a role play. One is a shop attendant, and another one is just a buyer. Yeah? Asking about variable items. B, shopkeeper, then describe what other customers are doing. So this is some of the examples that we can use just to help our students pre-speaking. Then you have so I would like also to mention about this, that speaking has parts. We have pre-speaking, where you need to have speeches. Let us talk about speech. Always we deliver speech. The speaking skills that we need to prepare first, and then we talk. So that's what we call preparations, pre-speaking activities. So we need to create some words. So here, Paul Nation on a vocabulary and the game as part of the preparation of our speaking skill will help us. So we have word web creation. Yes. How are you going to create words or web or sequences of the words that you are going to use, if I could say. So now here we have, like, you can talk about transport, transportation, and then we talk about, maybe we think about the transportation. What are we going to use? How does it start? So you know already, like you talk about vehicle, journey, ticket, passengers, destination. So students create sentences using connected words. Like here, we have this word web journey, route, distance, duration, ticket, price, type, validity. You can also talk about airplane. You can also talk about aviation. It depends on what kind of transport that you are talking. But then we need to get those vocabularies, those words that they are going to use. Apart from correcting, apart from thinking about grammar, but we need to first get some vocabularies that, that they will use. So, like in Iranian context, implementation theme, let us have a theme, a day at the market. So I have a student number one. Student number one, I went to Kimirong market. Student number two, I went to Kimirong market and bought tomatoes. I went to Kimirong market, bought tomatoes, and my friends. These are just some of activities I tried also to bring out these British resources tailored with the CBC. Of course, there are some materials that you find at the British Council website. Curriculum emphasizes basic conversation skills such as introducing oneself, talking about daily activities, and expressing references. So you also find the same materials in our CBC, our curriculum. In secondary schools, we have focuses on expressing opinions, debating, discussion topics of interest, and presenting arguments. So you will find this in curriculum page 22, and also primary English, primary 3 to 6, from P3 up to P6 on page 25. So these materials also from British Council can help us to implement our curriculum as teachers of English. So these are some of the practical examples. At a tourist office, guide role, then you have greet visitors, describe attraction, give direction, answer questions, offer recommendation. And then a tourist role, yes, a tourist. So you need two people always. We have two people, we have a officer and then a tourist, like we have been doing area. We had A and B. So these are some of the practical examples that you can use. I will have so many examples that you can use. So now during speaking activities, look at the work of Scott Thornberry. So this can help you. So you have prepared your vocabulary, your for instance, they have, yeah, a birthday party, student A. Guest list, people, venue, garden location, time, student bay information, menu option, entertainment choices. So they sit together and start planning a birthday party, you know. So they have what they are going to use. These are one of the practical examples during speaking. So I would like to encourage you teachers to always use British Council website and moment. Thank you very much. As we then here we have post speaking. So we need to see the feedback. We need to. So they have talked. You know, for us teachers also, we play a crucial immediate positive points are aired out. I really like how you have presented. I really like how you have aired out your view. So, quick tips for improvement. Next time, try to improve here. Example, I like how you describe this is what we call HOTI feedback. Also have what we call peer feedback. From here, we can, yes. Speaker's name, strong points that, yes, you see, you have done this and this area to improve, and one help suggestion, you can say, do A, B, C, D. This is a form that you can give to them that you have done and this, and then area of improvement can be like this. So you suggest can say use this and this in order to improve your speaking. And then number two, we have in feedback, of course, after during post speaking, we have also what we call technique. So you can show green. Green, that means perfect usage. Yellow, minor errors, but understandable. And then red needs improvement. Example, the market was very busy yesterday. So this green. The market was very busy. Yellow. Market yesterday. Red. So you see these sentences. The market very busy yesterday. Here you understand, but then the sequence of words are not read in order. And then here it's worst. So you give them red. So you show by just by these colors. As you hear, as we I would like to hear from you if you have any question, feedback, or any suggestion related to this presentation. So please, members, I would like to give you this floor and hear from you. And if there's anything to add on before I went.
Thank you very much, Fred. Thank you for your presentation. Fred has opened the floor to everybody so that you can please give him feedback, maybe any question, maybe any compliment. Just if you want to talk, you can open your microphone, then speak. You can also raise your hand to book the space for you to speak, and then please feel free to use the chat box and ask any question, provide any comment. Yes, thank you. Yes, Innocent.
Maria, I
presenter?
can Innocent, yes.
Yes, please. I needed to give flowers to the presenter.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
You presented a lot of things that we needed to use in our classrooms,
Mhm.
and I really appreciate all of the things that have been presented. If we include them into our classes, for sure our learners will improve more than as usual. So thank you so much, and I hope with ATEL and these workshops we are going to getting more things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Innocent. Emmanuel. Emmanuel, open your microphone. You are muted. I can read from the chat where Fraterne Hakizimana said, good sharing, Fred. Then Zaninga said, thank you so much. Roserine said, thank you, Mr. Fred. Hirushkwa Vincent said, thank you, Mr. Fred. Thank you, Frederick. Florence Tumukunde. Harindinwari gave a round of applause. Then Sarah Tuishime said, thank you. She said, I didn't understand the pre-speaking where. Nawirusha Justice said, thank you so much, Mr. Fred, for the wonderful presentation. Anybody who can please open microphone and
Yes,
give
Tamari.
feedback before we shift to the second presentation. David, thank you. Yes, David.
I really appreciate this presentation of Fred. I'm also thankful to British Council Resources. So this is very important. While teaching, speaking, and listening, it is very important. I remember my first days when I was teaching English. So when you didn't attend workshops like this, sometimes you teach wrong English. I remember my first time when teaching about wind. So because of so uh, these resources help us to improve our pronunciation and teach right English. Not only building our confidence, but also teaching right English. And when we pronounce well, we also communicate effectively. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, David. Marie-José to Iranga Mire said, we appreciate the presenter for the skills shared, especially about how to improve speaking skills for runners. It's really interesting. So we want to go with the second presentation, which is going to be presented by teacher Elizabeth. Elizabeth is going to share with us about effective reading skills using the British Council resources. Elizabeth? Yes,
yes, before maybe we attend to Elizabeth, someone who just asked about the pre-speaking preparation. Can I please
sure.
maybe respond? Yes, thank you very much. So I just gave an example of preparing a speech. It's like these are, we need to get a word bank. You need to get some words that you are going to use during your speaking. Of course, you need also to rehearse. It's like carrying out rehearsals. You say, I'm going to talk about maybe transportation. Transportation, some vocabularies, some words that you are going to use during the presentation or the speech about the presentation. So it's like rehearsing, getting some words that you are going to use during the speaking. So that's what I can say. And thank you for appreciating, guys. I'm very happy, and I would also like to appreciate and thank for this opportunity to share with us through these workshops. Okay, thank you very much, Jean-Marie. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Fred. Elizabeth, over to you. Fred, or do you please go to share and stop sharing? Thank you. Yes, Elizabeth, over to you. I think you are muted, right? Please unmute, Elizabeth.
Volume is really low.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Sure.
Great. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here for the ATEL presentation. I'm glad to I would like to thank ATEL for the great opportunity they provide for us to be able to share our experiences as teacher, to share information. It is really very good, and we are grateful for that. I would also give a shout out to British Council for giving us the resources. I would like to share my screen. Hope you're seeing my screen, Jean-Marie. Should I proceed?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So I'm taking us through the effective reading skills using the British Council resources to boost the learners by increasing our understanding of what effective readers do and how to develop these skills with engaging classroom activities. tomorrow. The member about this saying, today a reader, tomorrow a leader, before I get into the actual teaching of the reading skill. Anyone to share with us what they think about this saying? Anyone to share with us? Today a reader, tomorrow a leader.
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Elizabeth. I think
sir.
a reader means taking a culture of reading every day.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's very skills of reading, speaking, listening, writing the 4 different skills of language. It will be very good for us as we go on to help our learners develop the same skills. We are going to look at the pre, while, post for reading. Pre, while, post model for reading. And here are the objectives. By the end of this session, the teachers will be able to, number 1, recognize a range of skills for effective reading. Can be used to practice these specific skills. And number 3, describe the 3 reading stages. So we are going to go all through this. Have we attained our objectives? Number 1, we are going to look at reading stages. The first reading stage is what we call a pre-reading stage. We are looking at the pre, while, and post-modal reading stage. Here with us, we have a picture. What do you think about this picture? Can I please share with you, members? What do you think about this picture? Before we get into the actual reading, we have to begin with the pre-reading. And what do you think about this picture?
Say that picture speaks out. When you look at the picture, you imagine, and the imagination from the picture can be to the message or content of the text before you get to reading.
Okay. So it helps us to, another, Dusabimana has raised his hand. Please go ahead and say what you think.
So it's Nebo has been saying that the picture helps in imagination and relating to the content of the text.
We're going to read about. So under pre-reading stage, there are so many activities we can carry out. Like talk about a visual image related to the story, and you could ask such questions like, what do you see in the picture? What is happening in the picture? Have you ever seen anything like this before? While we are doing this, and to always have pre-reading activities to engage our learners, to kind of strike their imagination. Then it also helps to predict the content of the text. It also And why do we think prediction is really important? Anyone out there, why do you think prediction is important? Because they are now going to read the story. Why should we take them through a prediction activity? Anyone, please? Can I see a hand up?
It boosts the critical thinking, first of all.
Yes, very good. The critical thinking. Anyone else? Yes, Juvenal.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Prediction also raises curiosity, which can prompt the reader to go ahead and ahead reading.
Very good. It helps the reader it develops the curiosity, like, what am I going to find in this? What are the story that I'm going to read, or the text that I'm going to read? So in that way, it is creating curiosity, and someone will always read on to see, have I guessed right, or have I predicted? Knowledge of the context. It helps learners to get interested in the topic. It gives them the reason to read on, like our friend has just said, it strikes the curiosity, like, should I really read on? What am I going to expect? Is my answer correct? The answer that I predicted, is this right? Or how does it connect to them? How should they identify with it? So it is very important to do the pre-reading stage. And we are now going to look at a story. We are going to take like 2 minutes reading a story, and then we shall see what next after reading that story. And now we are on the second stage, which is called while reading. I beg your pardon, please read for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we go on to the next slide. I think it's silent reading. Are we done? Someone let me know if you're done, please. Are we done?
Yes.
Yes, you are done.
Yes,
Okay.
done.
Done.
A dog and a bone. Let me read through very fast for the loud reading. One day, a dog found a big, juicy bone, and he immediately grabbed it between his mouth and took it home. When he So, here are the activities for the while reading. The first question would be, what was the size of the bone that the dog had? Can I have that answer, please? What was the size of the bone that the dog had? First, and then you let me know just the size of the bone that the dog had.
It was big.
It was big. Thank you very much for that answer. Number 2, what did the dog cross on his way home? What did the dog cross on his way home?
Another dog.
The dog crossed the river. Yes, thank you so much. It crossed the river. Number 3, what is the main idea of the story? What do you think is the main idea of the story? You can read through very fast to get the main idea. You can skim through to read, to see the main idea of the story.
The main idea is that the dog was carrying its ball. After reaching to the river, he saw another dog which wants to bury it, and then the ball
bone fell out. So that's the main idea of the story. So number C, we are not going to do it now, but it's one of the activities we could still do. Sorry, D, the reading of the story in detail and writing a summary. It is just an example of the activities we could do while reading. Who knows what scanning is? Can you please tell us before I throw more light on it? What is scanning? What we did to get the size of the bone was basically scanning. And what we did to know what the dog crossed was basically scanning. So what is scanning? Almost there.
It's like a summary of content into an overview.
Thank you, Vincent. Is that
Yes.
Vincent?
Scanning it is to get the typical word in a text.
What was the size? And then you get the answer. What did the dog cross? You're not reading everything, but you're just looking out for that specific information, what the dog crossed. In that way, you're scanning. Another example would be maybe you need someone's telephone contact. They give you a very big book. You know the name of the person, and you want to get the number from that very big book. You're not going to read everyone's number. You're just looking out for specifically that name and the number of that person. In that way, you are scanning just to get some specific information. And then when we reach at C, what is the main idea of the story? Not for specific information, maybe the date of birth of someone, maybe the number of something. It's very specific. While skimming, you could read the topic sentences if there are so many paragraphs, simply to get the general meaning of the story before you delve into reading into details. So thank you very much, members. Let's move on to the next stage of reading and the last stage. The last stage is post-reading. And remember, we've had the pre-reading stage where we had to predict what the information is, where we had to simplify, we could also simplify the language for the learners. Maybe the learners are not familiar with the words in the story, so you pick them out before the lesson. And then when the lesson starts, you put maybe those words on flash. You've already put them on flashcards. You present them to the learners. You go through with the learners in those words that could maybe be difficult for them. That is still pre-reading. Then while reading, you can do the skimming, the scanning. Yeah, so many activities done through the while reading as well. And then the post-reading activity, you're done with the reading. You could ask the students to write quiz questions about the story you have just read, so that they ask their colleagues about the same story. they've read and we now believe they maybe understood or comprehended the story, but we are not yet so sure. So you give them chance, they've read and done some questions, but now the post-reading activity would require them to maybe come up with questions, quiz questions, and then they ask each other or retell the story in its order from the beginning to the end. There are so many activities we can do through post-reading still. And we could also look at the different reading skills. Yes, please.
Bye, Mama. No, bye.
Maybe this is because
Denise, the review, please
we need to mute.
Denise,
Limona.
Denise, please mute. Yes, Elizabeth, please go ahead.
Okay. And we have so many reading skills, but the key reading skills that we should develop or we should throw more light on or emphasis on are scanning, which is reading then we also needed to know what the dog crossed. Just we scan to get the specific information from the text, so that it's scanning. Then skimming is reading a text quickly to get a general idea of what it is about, just like someone helped us to give the general idea of what the text is about. He simply skimmed, like to give the general idea. It doesn't require us to read the whole document, just skim through, get the main idea. If you have several paragraphs, you can even read just the topic sentence of each paragraph for you to get the main idea. Then guessing the meaning of words from the text, the context. Like we said, you can pick out the words that would maybe seem hard for the students, and then you go through with them in those words, and then you could also ask them to guess what those words mean. Then predicting the content of a text. Predicting could be done by maybe you come up with a visual image, you show it to the students, and then they start predicting what they will find in the story or what the story is about. They are guessing what the story could be connected to in reference to the visual that you've shown them. Then number 5, identifying the text type and the purpose for reading. So it is always good for the students to be able to identify which type of text they are going to read. Is it, which genre, in other words? Is it a story? Is it a graph? Is it whatever type of reading they're going to do, they should identify with it and be able to proceed. Then we should establish the context of a reading text. For example, it is a story about maybe a girl who has grown up in Rwanda. They should be able to identify that, oh, this is what girls in Rwanda go through, or it's a story about the journey of a teacher. They've had teachers in class with them, so they can be able to establish the context for our reading. Once learners establish the context for the reading, they will read it comfortably. It also triggers their interest for that reading, etc. And before I close this presentation, my question would be, or is, have we achieved the objective? Can I have an answer, please, by show of hands? Have we recognized the range of skills for effective reading?
Yes, we did. I have achieved it.
Okay, can you give me an example of those skills that we have seen?
And also, I think people are free to write in the chat box.
Yes, you're free to write in the chat box, please. Maybe you haven't raised your hand, you can write. Yeah, we have seen skimming, scanning. Thank you. How about predicting? Has anyone seen the predicting? We have seen scanning and skimming. Thank you for those answers. Okay. Skills. Have we identified the activities that we can use to practice this specific skill? Any answer? Activities, please. Can you share with me? Please share with me. Maybe you can put up by show of hands. Can we identify the activities that can be used to practice these specific skills? Maybe to begin with the use of the visual for you come up with a picture and then the learners are able to kind of predict or guess what is to come ahead. That is an activity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe we need.
I can see, Madam Elizabeth, or do you allow me to
yes,
read just some chats?
Yeah.
You come to show us a very crucial points about these necessary skills of reading, about the activities that can be used to practice these specific skills. Actually, when you come to say it, once you are going to teach, for example, reading, it's better to go with the teaching aid that should inspire learners to think about anything you want to the text you want them to read. And after you can, if you want to use like scanning, you can go with the specific pictures or teaching aids that can help you to get that vocabulary before. Actually, you showed us many things, very important things that we should afford to teach properly reading. The challenge that I can say is only one. Many teachers don't want to spend time preparing the lesson. You can enter the class and you open books, you want them to read maybe 2 things you didn't prepare or you didn't think about. That is the only challenge we can say right now. I think you keep on giving us a very important things like the ones you come to give us.
Thank you very much, sir. Actually, it's very important for us to prepare our lessons before we get into the lesson itself. So maybe at times we just have to move away from the comfortable zone and get responsible with our work. If you do away with the pre-reading stage, most likely you're killing the learners, they will not enjoy the reading. So you're kind of feeling their attention for reading, feeling their love for reading, their passion for reading. So it's our learners achieve something. We always have to prepare and get ready for our lessons. Then the last learning object, is someone saying anything?
Yes, Madam Elizabeth, do you allow me just to read something from the chat box?
Jean-Marie?
Victor.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I can see David said for reading stage you have seen pre-wire and post-reading. Innocent said great to the presenter about reading skills. We need to apply all. We need to apply or in teaching for better improvement of our learners. Wamungu said we achieved the goal because now we can differentiate scanning and skimming correctly. Then Zaniha said scanning and skimming. Nyiraneza Delphine said we already got the image. We can, the image can help reader to focus on predict how it will be. Then I get 3 stage of reading, pre-reading, while reading, and post-reading from Tuombe Jory patients. Then Emmanuel Nduayezu said, predicting is helpful, especially for the learner's attention to what is going to be read. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. What advice can you give to the teachers who give the very long passages mean texts because sometimes they made the learners bored? I think this one is asking, Gasana is asking, what advice can you give to the teachers who provide long passages to the students, which make the learners bored? Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Jean-Marie. Can I respond to that question?
Sure.
Okay. Before we choose what the learners should read, this out because we have specific books for specific learners. The stories in those books or the passages in those different books really apply to the cognitive levels. In case you want to come up with something enjoy or they're going to get bored. So cognitive level is one of the things we should always put in mind. Then the pre-reading stage whereby you come up with visuals that kind of trigger their interest, they identify with them, they interact with them, and then they get on to the reading. So there are so many ways of helping our learners do away with the boredom, because for them, they will always say reading is boring, but it's upon us teachers to help them get out of that, make the reading very interesting. So it takes us back to what our friend has just said, that some teachers just get on to the while reading stage instead of the pre-reading stage. The pre-reading stage is very important because it triggers off their interest. They will always want to read. They will always want to know, have we predicted the right thing? Thanks so much, British Council. And teachers, thank you so much for participating and for being active. See you another time. I'm Elizabeth from Magana Leader School.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Jean-Marie, are you there?
Yes, thank you very much, Elizabeth. I can see there is another interesting question.
Oh.
And we have still we have a few minutes. And the question is, what does a topic sentence mean? I was reading that from the chat box. What does topic sentence mean?
Oh, thank you very much. A topic sentence is that sentence that begins each and every paragraph of someone's writing. When we are reading a story that is in paragraphs, there is that first sentence. It is what we call a topic sentence.
Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth. To add on that, you know, every paragraph needs it to have to deal with the maybe one topic sentence or one point. It's not good to have different topics or opinions in a single paragraph. So each paragraph is supposed to have one topic sentence, and that topic sentence is about just the general content of the whole paragraph. The key element, the key message of the paragraph, and the other sentences or the other opinions, the other points are around or support the topic sentence. Is that true, Madam Elizabeth?
It is true. I agree with your point, sir.
So any other comment, please? Now we want to hear from you about today's presentation. Just 2 minutes. Somebody, please raise your hand, and just if there is another question, if there is another opinion, please raise your hand and share with us. Thank you very much, Madam Elizabeth. This was really interesting.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you too for the opportunity.
Okay. Anybody wants to speak? Yes? Please open your microphone and speak.
May I speak?
Sure.
Yeah, my name is Gadimogo, SOP member from Karonji. Thank you for this presentation.
Good morning. Hello.
I think your network is not stable.
Hello.
The network is not stable. Somebody else?
May I speak?
Sure. In the meanwhile, Madam Elizabeth, you can go to share, then you stop sharing because the slides are still there. You go to share, then you click stop sharing.
May I speak a bit?
Sure. Please.
Yes, I'm Vedaste from Huye COP. I did appreciate for sure the two presentations. Apart from the skills they are giving us, I should appreciate the way they prepared, they arranged the ideas. This is a good lesson we should also think about preparing whatever we are going to give our learners. And I wanted to ask Frederick the way I can search such documents related to his topic on the British Council link. What can I type in?
Okay, I think if you are done, are you done with the question?
Thank you very much, Jean-Marie.
Okay, thank you. Fred, I think if you did you hear from him?
No, please come again. I have not heard well.
Okay, Vedas, please come again.
I was asking the way I can search different resources related to his topic on the British Council link. What can I type in the link so that I can get immediately the resources I can use it to develop more about that topic?
Oh, yeah, I tried to show you the link. You can use those links. And then again, when you enter there, skill, you'll find where there is a reading skill. Okay, you go there and then click. It's a matter of just navigating through their website. And again, you can also use these links that I have offered to you. Is that okay?
Yes, Fred. Thank you very much. Vedas, worry nothing, because we are going to share with you all the resources, both presentations and also the recordings. I think within Frederick's presentation, within Frederick's slides, I'm sure there are those links, and those will be helpful, please.
Thank you very much.
Kawasha?
Jean-Marie, before maybe I'm sorry. Also, I would like to encourage my colleagues
And me also, may I ask my question?
Sure.
Please.
Marisa?
I have a question.
I'm not hearing anyone.
We are not getting you unless my internet is but cannot hear you. Okay, so if it's hard to get you, feel free to use our group WhatsApp, then raise your questions, and the concerned person will try to answer questions, right? So, Fred, can you hear? Okay. Can everybody please hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yes.
Thank you very much for today's joining. I think both slides, both presentations were interesting. And for those who could not join just because of the capacity of...
We are not hearing you.
Okay, now can you hear?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thanking everybody who was able to join today and apologizing for those who could not, just because of the capacity of our link. I was discussing with Irinda, and the issue was that the other category of the link is too expensive, and we could not get the link that can accommodate all the participants here. So don't worry, we are sharing with you everything, and as you know, we'll provide internet fees not later than tomorrow. Juliet, who is in charge of facilities in ATER. Tomorrow we'll be working with all the COP leaders to make sure that you get the internet fees for your participants. And also, I invite you to always fill the questionnaires that we provide, the survey. And that is also helpful for the British Council and the project in general. So, if do we have Rukundo Kanyangore here? In case Rukundo is here, he can just say something, just 1 minute. If not, we'll invite Linda just to say something and we'll close.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Linda, over to you now. I think Rukundo is not available.
What would you like me to say?
Yes, Linda.
What would you like me to say?
Just something. They were your, how you saw the presentations. These are our dear teachers who have been working on the slides, and also next week on 25th, they will also present just your comment. Just say something to the teachers of Rwanda.
Yeah, great to see so many teachers being willing to come to the webinars, and I'm sorry for the ones who couldn't make it in. This is a good motivation to get people to come to webinars early, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. You please open your videos, then we say bye and see you.
And well done to the presenters as well. Congratulations, everybody. And congratulations on all your hard work, and have a good week.
Bye. Thank you very much, Linda. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Linda.
Bye, everyone.
See you next week.
Yes.
See you.
Next Saturday.
Thank you very much for everyone today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.